been a minute since we've tested some baking hacks. Like, I don't even remember the last video we did testing some baking hacks. But then a slew of them just showed up in my feed and I was like, well, now's the time. Because who doesn't love a good baking hack? And speaking of hacks, though I guess more life hacks, today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh, because I don't know if you know this, but right now is like back to school, and so this meal kit has kept us alive. Every year I think I'm getting better, and every single year I am genuinely surprised at how busy it gets with new routines and back to school like extracurriculars. If you're unfamiliar, HelloFresh creates home delivered meal kits. They've had a ton of different celebrity spokespeople like Jessica Alba, and right now they're doing a really fun battle for the next spokesperson between T-Pain and Jimmy O Yang, and the recipes they've both put together look really good. T-Pain has this mashed potato bowl that looks amazing, and then Jimmy O Yang has these like coconut curry pork meatballs that look incredible. Although honestly, I feel like they're missing out on Chris. I mean, could you imagine the t-shirt designs he could create with the HelloFresh line? Check out the link down below where
I got a good one already.
A t-shirt design?
Yeah, like a cartoon Gandalf, and he's like, all we have to decide is what to do with the lines that are given to us. No. Pepe, we've had one, yes, but what about second HelloFresh? The new spokesman, it's me.
As I was saying, make sure you check out the link down below. Big thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. And now let's dive into the baking hacks. And I want to start with the one that actually got me the most excited, and I saved it because I wanted to do it anyway. And that is creating those like beautiful domed bakery muffins. Because anytime I create muffins, they look really sad. Just these pitiful little muffins, or I overfill them and then they just spill over to the side and burn at the bottom of my oven. But I saw a video on TikTok and she had the most beautiful looking muffins, and she had a bunch of tips and tricks to do that yourself at home. So we're gonna do that because I wanted to make banana muffins anyway for my kids for after school. Again, after school, I'm trying to prepare. So let's see if I can make this happen. By the way, I'm making the Magnolia Table, this recipe, the banana bread. It is excellent, 10 out of 10, highly recommend. For that, we need good old Francesca. So, things we are gonna need. Step 1, coffee. All right, coffee, check. All right, starting with melted and cooled butter. By the way, in case anyone is wondering by the amounts, I am making 4 times the recipe, mostly because I cleaned out my freezer and I had so many bananas in there. Then we're adding eggs. There's no way I am getting this with all of the dry ingredients in here. It's not happening, I'm just calling it now. Brown sugar and vanilla. Now we mix. By the way, can you tell that we like this cookbook? Look at all of the tabs. Beautiful. Now we add in the bananas. The most disgusting part of making banana bread. I hate this part. Look at this and tell me that is not disgusting. Now we very carefully mix. Oh, she's so close to the edge. Guess we're gonna have to transfer. Okay, that's as much as I'm gonna get out of that one. Ugh, it's like seaweed on here. This bowl better work because I don't have a bigger one. Thank you, Francesca. You are going to need a bath before you get put away. Now we have all the dry ingredients, which I pre-put together. And we're just gonna fold all of this in. This isn't even the hack yet. I haven't even gotten to it. I'm just going to get all this flour incorporated and obviously adding chocolate chips. Obviously. Do we measure chocolate chips? No. Measure with our heart. And actually, while we mix and stir, the first hack is to let the, I guess it's dough, whatever it is, the mixture, the muffin mix, we need to sit for 15 minutes before baking. The reason is because that allows the starch molecules to expand. Basically, you're trying to make a thicker mix, dough, whatever. So I'm gonna let this sit for 15 minutes while we work on another recipe, and then don't worry, there's more. All right, well that does its thing. Let's go on to the next one. And this one I found on TikTok and I saw it and I was like, I need to understand how this works. And apparently it's a very old recipe, but it works really, really well. And that is Sprite pie. And it is essentially dumping a Sprite into a pie crust and baking it. There are a couple of add-ins, but that's basically what it is. I wanna know how that works and I'm really curious what that tastes like. Step 1 is having a pie crust in the freezer. Check. Step 2 is just pouring a whole can of Sprite into a pie crust. This is so weird. Very normal. All right, it's all in there. But this is not enough, obviously, to make this. Come on. What we need is some other stuff, but they're very specific on how this is added. So I have here a cup of sugar and 4 tablespoons of flour, and we need to sprinkle the mixture on top. Very specific, do not stir this. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get it around all the different spots. It's so close to the edge. And we need to sprinkle some vanilla extract on top. I don't know how one sprinkles, so I'm just gonna do whatever it is right now that I'm doing. La 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 la. We're not done though. I need to grate 70 to 85 grams of butter and put that on top. This butter is frozen, in case you're wondering. Makes it a lot easier to grate. How much is that? 13. Okay, I'm gonna be grating butter forever. It's 5 tablespoons, in case you're wondering. Oh, that's the 15 minutes on the muffins. A couple extra minutes won't hurt. 63, okay, we're getting there. 80, beautiful. And then we need to sprinkle it on top. Somehow, and I don't know how, it's not spilling over. I don't understand. This is the weirdest pie I think I have ever made. Now I need to put some aluminum over top. We want to protect the crust from burning while we cook the inside. Oh no, leaking a little bit. Then I need to cut a hole, not a hole, technically an X. Spilling out the side. It's not really an X, but it's close enough. Then, because this is definitely gonna get everywhere in my oven, I'm going to put it on a baking sheet. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's spilling everywhere. I'm so angry. Okay, and it's almost up to temperature. It's gonna go in at 400 for 30 minutes. So let me just clean this up. Now we can finish up the muffins. So mad about that Sprite pie. I really was excited about that. I swear I didn't touch the actual inside, just the crust. So, the hacks for the muffins. Okay, I really hope this works. What we need to do, first of all, is we need to fill every other muffin. So we want to leave space in between them so they don't like overfill and run into each other and you ruin the whole vibe. And then with that, the other thing she said is you need to fill it aggressively. She said 6 to 8 tablespoons. So I'm gonna measure the first one because I kind of want to get an estimate on how full that is. I assume it's just like to the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so really full. Okay, this at least tells me how full we need to be going here. So now I'm gonna fill this one like that, I guess. Out of all of the hacks, I am the most excited about this one because if this works, I'm gonna feel like such a professional. There we go. I have so much muffin mix. Wow. Probably gonna do some like loads too, you know? I don't have time to do this for every single one. So this is gonna go into a 350 oven. I don't know how long. Where's that book? Honestly, this is just one of my favorite books for baking. I'll link it down below because this is awesome. Yeah, 350, 45 to 50 minutes. So it's gonna be in there for a while. And that will give us enough time to go on to an experiment for a hack, because this particular hack seems very interesting and one that I hadn't thought of, and that is how to make really bright icing. Because I don't know if you have tried to do this, even with gel food coloring, which is just really beautiful, super pigmented. Oftentimes I find that you need to use a lot in order to get a really rich color, especially for something like red. But this woman was saying that you're just not leaving it enough time to develop, kind of like with hair color. The longer it sits, the more rich of a tone it becomes. This is for royal icing. So I thought we could do a little bit of an experiment. So first of all, I have some royal icing that I did up before. It's a little crusty on top, but it'll be fine. And that way we can try 3 different colors. And I thought what we could do is actually earlier while we were filming, I baked some sugar cookies. I just made some like little star ones. And we're going to mix up some colors. I'm going to pipe them onto a couple of the cookies and then leave some of the icing in the bags and then pipe it onto another cookie later and just see if the color is actually different. To me, I don't personally understand the chemistry behind, I guess, leaving it for a while on a cookie versus leaving it in a bag, I guess it's not fully set, and maybe that's the difference there. Because you do have to like mush up the bag a bit and like reblend it, and it's supposed to be like a deeper shade. So I don't know, we're gonna try it. I wanna see how much more pigmented we can make it. So I figured one we could do is probably red. We'll just mix that in, because like this is gonna make a really pretty pinky color, but it won't be red. Pretty shade, just not red. Next we'll do the blue, maybe like a sky blue. There we go. Beautiful pastel-y blue. Nice, but again, could it be brighter? We're gonna find out. And then, I don't know, that's kind of a pale shade. Let's do like a darker, like a bright shade. Oh my gosh, I'm covered in, this one's leaking. This is like a bright green. Look at my hands. I don't know what happens to these containers. I swear I am rinsing them and washing them every single time I use this container. I don't know who goes in here while I'm not here. Food coloring gremlins that hate me. Honestly rude. All right, there we go. Now I'm gonna stick these in piping bags. All right, 1. Yeah, oh, I missed a little bit here. You can see there's some here, but there's also some white icing up here. So clearly I didn't mix well, but that should balance out. Then number 3. All right, there we go. We have our 3 colors. They're all ready to go. Oh, that is the Sprite pie, which don't worry, it's still not done. Now we need to reduce the heat to 350 or 375 and then put it in for another 30 minutes. Okay, that's back in. We have our sugar cookies here. So we're gonna ice just 3 of them. It's like the colors are still pretty. They're just not like as pigmented as they could be apparently. I'm really good at icing things. Doesn't look like a star at all. I mean, I am gonna fill it in, but it just kind of looks like a sad star. And we're gonna do this one. I'm gonna try and be better about where I'm placing this icing. Okay, that's a little bit better. Good for me. Just letting the outsides set a little bit before I fill it, or flood it, sorry. And apparently I just need to let this sit for like 30, 45 minutes, except for the red. I'm gonna check on that one in the morning. And now we fill really messily. Usually they take like a knife or something and they kind of smooth it. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. Could these be better? Yeah, but like, honestly, I'm not mad at that. So this is what the cookies look like now. I'm gonna let these set for like 30, 45 minutes and we'll see what they look like then. So now, while we have everything in some sort of holding, baking, brightening zone, we're going on to probably the weirdest cake that I've ever seen, in that I've never seen anyone build a cake this way. But I'm very intrigued. I like the origin story of it too. I've just never heard of this before, and I'm very excited to see what this tastes like. Because today, folks, we're gonna be making a cake out of bread. Are we crumbling it up, turning it into like a little powder? No, we're not. Literally layers of bread. It is supposed to taste like a cake though, so I'm kind of excited by it. So let's make sure we have everything. First of all, we have white bread. Secondly, jam of your choosing. I have strawberry and I also have raspberry. So we're gonna do both. Then we need strawberries and then a mixture of water and condensed milk. I think we have everything. So let's quickly chop up some strawberries since I forgot to do that. And the recipe calls for just little slices of strawberry. I'm sure you could do other fruit, but I don't know that yet. And I don't even know if it's worth doing it with the strawberries you have. So let's find out. My Sprite cake is almost done. It's still not done though. So many steps. It's very weird to sit while chopping. Okay, I'm probably gonna need more strawberries than that, but I wanna get started on layering this thing. So we're gonna start with 4 slices and we're gonna cut the crusts off. No crusts here. By the way, I am using like a Texas toast, like a thicker toast. I don't know. I felt like that would be better. Now, the assembly. It says to make it into a rectangle. Mine's not very rectangle-y. That doesn't seem right. I'm just gonna make mine into a square. Step 1, we're gonna take our water condensed milk mixture here. We're gonna brush it over the bread. It says to use about 1/3 of it. I don't know how much that is. I'm trying to make sure there are no like dry bits, and I'm gonna call that a success. Then we're gonna cover it with jam. I'm gonna start with a layer of strawberry jam. This is, by the way, I think I've mentioned this before, but my brother-in-law made jam, and now it's all my children will eat. If there's jam on something, it has to be this jam. There are no other options. It's this or nothing. Let's get some more on here. And then we're doing a layer of strawberries all along it. I kind of feel like Rachel in Friends. First a layer of whipped cream, then a layer of jam, then beef sauteed with peas and onions. I don't know if I got that exactly, but close enough. Oh, how many times have I watched Friends? It's a lot. Okay, now what? Oh, now it's the icing. Okay, so technically, I am stealing a little bit of the icing. It hasn't been 45 minutes, but like, I'm taking a little bit of it. I don't know how much to put on, but like, I don't know, that's probably good. Then we're gonna do this all over again with another 4 slices of bread. Again, cutting off the crusts. We're gonna layer this and do it one more time. And Sprite's done, but is it done? Is it? It's not, don't worry. It needs to sit out until it's entirely cool. Then it needs to go in the fridge and fully set. Okay, now I can do the muffins. They've been in the fridge, so they've, you know, come together a little bit more. That's probably fine. Because the last hack for the muffins is I'm gonna put them in for 7 minutes at 425 and then turn down the heat. And then it's gonna bake the rest of the way at 350 for like 10 to 15 minutes, I think. Sorry, 12 to 16 minutes. Very specific. That now needs to come up to temperature before we can do that. Let's keep making our bread cake. This time we're gonna do a little raspberry jam. Because like, is one better than the other? I don't know. Then hang on while I cover it with some more strawberries. Actually, quick update on the cake. So I actually took the layers on this side and I put them on top because I don't know if I'm gonna like this and I didn't want to keep using bread and strawberries and stuff until I knew. And then they said to like either ice it or do whipped cream or whatever you want. So I'm gonna do some whipped cream just to make a fun little border, you know? I don't know what this is. It's like a wave. And that is the, what is in the oven now? Muffins. Setting the temperature lower, resetting the timer. And we continue with my weird cake. Ta-da! Hey, Christopher.
Yeah?
You want to try something? I don't know how to describe this.
Whenever you laugh when you ask if I want to come try something, get a little worried.
This is a cake.
It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you squint enough, it kind of looks like a castle.
Yes.
You have to squint though. Squint. Really squint. This is a bread cake. It's a bread cake with jam and whipped cream and strawberries.
It's not then a tall sandwich.
One might also consider it to be a tall sandwich.
What's the blue?
The blue's the icing. Thank you for asking. So
Okay.
I should have done more icing on top, but I decided to do whipped cream.
Sure.
Could I add more icing to it? Probably.
Okay.
But that would mean I'd be staying here all day making it look really pretty because that's who I am.
And you've already accomplished that.
Thank you. It's already beautiful. She
I'm glad
said.
you got my note about blue.
Dabba-dee-dabba-da. You can't say it without saying dabba-dee-dabba-da.
I have a girlfriend and she is blue. I'm sorry, you had to find out like this.
I don't know how to cut this. Maybe, don't, Christopher. Maybe like this.
Kinda like that?
Yeah. Ta-da! Are you so excited?
How long has this been sitting?
Not very long.
I'm wondering if the bread is going to absorb more of the layers over time. And whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. I feel like it will.
Probably. I was also thinking that the longer it sits, the better soaked up it is.
Because it just kind of looks like bread now.
It does.
Yeah.
It does 100% look like bread. I don't know. I'm going to taste it now.
Well, we have to.
And then I would also maybe to taste it later. The whipped cream's good. We know that for sure.
Yeah, that's a given.
Oh, I get you a fork.
That's okay, you go ahead.
I'll go first and then
Yeah.
you go. Fine. I see how it is.
I don't get my own chair, I don't get my own fork. I see the way this is going. I guess I shouldn't have a girlfriend.
Dabba-dee-dabba-da.
Pretty good.
It doesn't taste like cake, but it doesn't not taste like cake. It tastes more like, what's that stuff? Strawberry shortcake?
It does taste like strawberry shortcake. Yeah, the jam is what's throwing me.
Why? What do you have against the jam?
I don't have anything against it. It's just, that's what makes it taste sandwich-like. Well, I don't remember what peanut butter tastes like, but if there were peanut butter, like it's just a breakfast kind of then.
With whipped cream and frosting.
And fruit, and yeah. But that's basically like pancakes or waffles, right?
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? It's not bad. It's a little confusing, but I'm not mad at it though.
How would you feel if someone served this to you as your birthday cake?
Well, I only want cookies or chocolate cake. I do like a chocolate cake. I don't know what I would do with it. I would assume Julie and Luke made it, which like
they certainly could.
they absolutely could. They could make that. I'd be curious what they think of it. They probably like it. They love
Sure,
jam.
Yeah, no, it's
a very jam
I mean,
forward.
it tastes good. I'm not sure I'm ready to call it cake, but it tastes very good.
It's tasty.
Yeah.
That's all I can say about it.
Yeah, well,
Don't worry, I have more. I have more later.
Okay.
Guys, you didn't rise. It said in the instructions to keep cooking them past the 16-minute mark if they weren't done in the middle, and they weren't done in the middle. I don't know what I did wrong. I mean, they'll still be good, but like, I'm not getting the fluff on top. So if you have any suggestions on how I can make that happen, please let a girl know, because I don't know what I did wrong. Again, it'll still be tasty. I still like them, but it's not the same. That was a good recipe though. And I think the pie is probably ready to go in the fridge. Here's a fun update. It's stuck. It's stuck to the pan. No, I don't want it to leak everywhere. Oh no. Hey, Christopher.
Yeah.
You wanna help me? My pie is stuck. Stuck to the pan. It's stuck because the Sprite spilled over. I don't wanna talk about it.
I would probably just refrigerate it like this and then pry it off.
Okay.
Homemade up.
Yeah.
I'll get that out of there.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, well, it has been some time, so I guess we can also test the icing. I don't know what the order of operations are here, but I'm going to pinch up the bottom here, and I'm gonna give this a little remix. Maybe I'll stir it. There's a little bit of extra food coloring on the top, so I'm not gonna include that just in case. It does not look any different to me. I thought maybe it was a little bit darker, maybe? And maybe in the playback of the video, it'll be like very obvious or something, but I don't know. There's the OG. No, wait. Is that actually darker, or is it just not dried? I think it's just not dried, but I'm gonna put it over here anyway. It looks the same to me. What about you? What? I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Just gonna dump it in here. I wanna make sure it's fully mixed. Looks exactly the same. I don't understand. Am I gonna put some on here? Yes, I am. Does it look any different? No, it doesn't. Well, I guess regardless, I'm just gonna let these set overnight and see if they look any different in the morning. But as of right now, I'm not understanding this hack. So I'll see you tomorrow for the Sprite pie and the icing. Fingers crossed this one works. Hello, I'm here. Day 2 of our Sprite pie. She's set overnight. Oh. Okay. I don't know what to do with this. Christopher?
Yeah.
Do you want to try some Sprite pie with me?
Alright.
Okay, it came off. I didn't know what was gonna happen to my pan. It's okay though. Crisis averted.
Great pie.
Sprite pie. I didn't burn the outside, and
Good.
it is set. So
wins.
it's a win. How does one get this out? Not very well with a knife, but you know, it's fine. It's kind of like jelly-y.
Yeah. Is there like cornstarch in there?
No, there is flour, there is Sprite, there is vanilla.
Butter, I'm guessing?
Yes, I did have to grate butter in. I assume because it's Sprite, it'll have like a lemony vibe.
Yeah, I was thinking like lemon lime kind of
Yeah.
citrus pie. Probably just tastes like sugar.
Here, you have this part with the goo, and I'll have this part.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Do you get any Sprite?
I'm looking for notes of citrus, and I don't really
There's
get any.
something there? It's not just sugar?
No,
But-
it's like a brighter sugar.
Yeah. It needs something to be good. I'm not sure if it's whipped cream or like a
Does it need-
raspberry topping or something.
Okay. I was thinking like in it. I was like, can you like squeeze a lemon in or something? I feel like that would mess with the formula, wouldn't it?
What it needs is like pecans or something like that, like something to give it a crunch would help a lot.
Okay. But in terms of a base for a pie, like it worked for sure. Was it easy? I mean, I guess, but like super time consuming. You had to keep like, put it in for half an hour at a certain temperature and then in a half an hour for another temperature. And like, then it had to sit in the fridge overnight. Like, yes, it did make a pie. And I am very impressed that somebody came up with this because that's impressive. It's not my favorite pie. It is not the most unique or interesting pie, but it is definitely a pie.
Not the most unique or interesting tasting pie.
Yes, very
Maybe
interesting.
the most unique or interesting conceptually.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, don't get me wrong. It tastes good. Like, it tastes sugary.
It's just a sugar pie. Yeah, pretty good.
I like the whipped cream on top idea. That's a good idea. And then what else did I need to update? Oh, okay. The icing sugar. I left these overnight, and honestly, what I'm thinking is that maybe it's a different type of food coloring than I'm using that causes it to do the turning red overnight or whatever. Because like, to me, what's happening, because you can see that looks darker, but I think it's just because it's sunk to the bottom. I'm gonna pour this green one in, and I'm gonna compare it to the cookie I did last night. Now, I don't know if I'm just seeing it differently. Does this look darker? I accidentally sent the first cookie to school with my children. So I don't have that one, but I do have the other one. But like, let's just put a little bit on. Now granted, this has not set, so maybe that's the distinction here. But like, it does look a hair darker to me. However, this is not red. This is not even like coming close to red. So maybe I needed it to be closer to red in the first place, and then it would become red, but this wasn't enough, if that makes sense. So I'll put a note on the screen if this ends up looking darker than this cookie or something. I don't know. If you have any tips or tricks, please let me know. I feel like I'm just imagining it at this point. I wished that it did make a really bright icing, because that would have been really cool, but I don't see the dramatic side-by-side that I saw in the video. So let a girl know. Experts out there, help me out. Thank you as always for watching today's video. Big thanks to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. You can go and check out the link to the full campaign down below, and check out these videos on the side in case you have missed any. I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already for new videos here every single Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great one. I'll see you guys out next week.